Today's show is with the current running back coach for the Kansas City Chiefs and a Super Bowl champ. He had a tremendous 8-year NFL career as a wide receiver, and in the Southern Miss world, he's easily one of the greatest receivers to catch the ball at the rock. So with all that said, I'm bringing you Hall of Fame from Southern Miss, my friend, my former teammate, the one and only Todd Pinkston. Todd, how you doing, man?
What's going on, Marchant, man? I'm doing great, man. I'm doing a lot better than what I was before. So it's always good to touch base with you.
Yeah, man, you've done so much in your career and like a Super Bowl ring now. What else is Ty going to do, man? So, but Southern Miss World was so happy, so was I. So congrats on that. And man, you were always like a deep thinker on the team. And when you won the Super Bowl, you put on social media a great quote. I'd like to read it real quick. You said, "Keep shooting for the stars. Don't give up on your dreams. God is good. Stay blessed. Stay humble." I mean, tying that to the Super Bowl win, what's that quote mean to you?
It means, man, whenever, guys always try to downplay what their goal and expectation is, I'm always shooting for the stars. And that stuff started when I was young and it had a big goal. I wanted to go to college, and I didn't think about the NFL. I just wanted to get a degree from wherever I went to, and I put that out there for me to shoot for. You watch NFL on TV when you was young, and hey, why not try to get to the NFL? But shooting for the stars that's the expectation that I was looking for coming out of high school.
Man, you shot for the stars, and man, you just went so high. So proud of you right there. I mean, real quick, Kansas City world, man. I mean, right now the best organization in the NFL. What's the future hold for Kansas City right now, man? What y'all gonna do?
I don't know, man. We're gonna enjoy this ride right now, but it's a quick turnaround. We got the combine coming up in a couple of weeks, so it's a great organization, led by Mr. Hunt, Mr. Coach Reed, and the staff that we have and the guys that we have right now, man. The sky's the limit for us, man. Just another goal we try to shoot for this year, and it's going to start in a couple of weeks.
Oh, it's awesome. Good to hear. Because I mean, I know the rest of the NFL is a little fearful what KC's about to do and can just keep doing. It's been tremendous, man. But with you personally, man, I want to tell you a story, Todd, because you got deep Mississippi roots from Forest, Mississippi, Forest High School. I mean, great wide receiver back then. You won a state championship, and in that Forest High School world, you're known for the catch early in your career. Talk about the catch, man, and what that was at Forest High School.
Well, I was a sophomore in high school, well, what they call it at that time, 10th grade.
Yeah.
So just coming to first year started, at that time we was wing T with Coach Jack French, and a lot of receivers don't get a lot of balls, but it came down to, I think it was like a minute and 30 seconds, and we was driving the ball in the mud, in the rain, and nasty weather. And I think it was like fourth down, and we needed a score. And got to the sideline, and Coach French was like, "Man, just throw the ball up to Todd." And best friend at the time, Darren Moore, he just threw it up and gave me an opportunity. It kind of like shocked me when he threw it because I didn't realize how open I was when I went up for the ball. And just so happened that the ball came down to me, and the ball fell on me. I grabbed it in surprise and jumped up, and I was kind of surprised after that, and it went from there.
Oh, that's awesome. We won a state championship early in your career and established that Todd Pinks is the force to be reckoned with, man. And he went on to just first team All State guy, Mississippi, and which came with a lot of offers to you. I mean, you were so talented. It came down to Mississippi State, Jackson State, and Southern Miss. Thank goodness you chose Southern Miss. But why? Why'd you choose Southern Miss, man? Give me the reason.
Well, Marshall, people don't really know that my first sport was basketball. I was a great basketball player, four-sport athlete in high school. My dad always told me to stay into something, so I went from football, basketball, from basketball to baseball to track, and I was always doing something. But I didn't really get a lot of offers coming out of high school because running a wing T, I didn't get a lot of balls. But my senior year, just so happened, I just flourished as a a great receiver. And coming out of high school, getting an offer from Jackson State and Southern Miss, and Mississippi State came later. Um, Coach Bauer sold me. He sold me what the future that was about to inspire. Y'all already had the nasty bunch defense down there, and I wanted to go somewhere and make a name for myself and for the school that I went to instead of just going somewhere where I could try to be that guy. But eventually, it came down to, like I said, Southern Miss and the camaraderie, and I think Rod Thomas really got me because he was my host when I came down to Southern Miss, and he sold me as far as coming in and being myself, and then felt like that I could gel with the guys that was already there, along with the class that was Sherrod and them that came in with me.
Oh man, and did you gel? I mean, when I think about you, the smile on my face, couldn't have had a better teammate than Todd Pinkston. Great leader, everything you want. I mean, to this day, Todd, I mean, I don't know if you keep up with the stats in all the major receiving categories, you're still top five. I mean, still to this day and everything at Southern Miss. So I'd name them all, but that would take up half the show, Todd, all you still. So just trust me, Todd's really good, people.
I
But
got you.
but let's talk about this, Todd. When you first came to Southern Miss, man, I saw you. I'm like, man, that's a lean wide receiver over there. But man, getting to know you, getting to see you, there wasn't a tougher guy that played wide receiver. You made all the catches. Where'd you get that toughness from?
Well, I think coming out of high school, like I said, we actually went back to back state championship 92 and 93, and I was just as slim as I was when I came to Southern Miss. But a lot of people doubted me, saying that I was too small to get stuff done to play college, and because I was a basketball player, and I was a track runner, and it was just a point where I had to prove to everybody that I could play on the next level because I had that heart in which my dad instilled in us all as my siblings. If you want something, go get it, and you got to work for it, in regards of what size you are. So once I got to Southern Miss, and I saw I could play against those guys on the other side, which is the National Bunch, was the top three defense in the country. If I could be on scout team, if I could be
Nasty
on scout
punch.
team and play against those guys, man, I could play against anybody in the country regardless of my size. And once I got a chance to get in the starting lineup, I went from there after playing scout team for a year.
Yeah, you became a starter right away. I mean, just eventually one of the greatest wide receivers in the country. I mean, Todd was awesome, people. I'll witness. But you said a name, Sherrod Gideon, man. Y'all were great friends, great teammates, really close when you got there. And if you talk about the greatest wide receiver duo in Southern Miss history, it's Todd Pinkston, Sherrod Gideon. Your argument is invalid, people. That's what it is. End of story. What was it like having a teammate like Sherrod and you all doing what you did?
Well, once we found out we was going to be redshirted and we was going to run a scout team, so we knew about D. Hurd, remember D. Hurd, Roy
Heard
Stabler,
it.
uh, Rod Thomas, those guys on the back end with you guys, man. We just said we are gonna go out there and ball out, and actually I remember Coach Woodmack getting on to us receivers on scout teams like, "What are y'all doing?" Because we just over here making plays. So I think we gelled from the time that we knew we was confident enough to practice against you guys every week and give y'all a good look, because teams back then had the wide receivers that y'all would be facing every week. So going against you guys made us better and made us confident to know that we could play on the college level. And he became my one of my close friends once I got there. Him and Brandon Francis and all those guys that came in with us, man. We just said that we're gonna make our defense better, but also make each other better.
Oh yeah, and you made us better quickly, man. And became a starter pretty fast early in your career, and man, but you said a lot of names right there that bring a lot of smiles, a lot of memories to my face, which brings up Van Hall. V5, man. We still do
V5,
this one as
yeah.
an emoji. I think it's V5 that made that emoji. But man, I don't know where to beginner end with the stories of Van Hall, man. What did Van Hall and our football dorm mean to you?
Well, it's a tight fraternity that we had. Starting with the greats, Louisiana guys like Pat Surtain and Jamal and all those guys, man, that helped us get better. And I think once we got to Van Hall, it was a football slash athletic dorm where that's where all the bond came, because we did the barbecue on the outside, we did water gun fights, and it was just a camaraderie we had. The women dorm across the way, so they wanted to look on the other side and see, hey, those are the football players over there. But you couldn't be a part of if you weren't a part of Van Hall. So those memories, man, bring back all the guys that you could go. You can have a whole list of them, man. You can't name everybody, but it's the bond that we had in the kind of our own fraternity, which we came up with Van Hall V5.
Man, perfect way to put Van Hall, man. I'm thinking of having an unedited show one day and tell the real stories of it, but well, to be
They
determined. But
probably
yeah,
don't want to hear those.
I was joking with my wife. If we had that, it'd have to be like one of them witness protection interviews, where we're dark and you
Yeah,
can't hear our
correct.
voices. Yeah.
Correct.
Because I mean, some of them stories, but great, nothing bad. People, it was just we had some great times. So,
Yeah.
But man, Todd, looking back at your career, I mean, from freshman, sophomore year all the way to senior year, so many moments. What were some of your favorite game moments while you're at Southern Miss?
Well, I think just playing the competitive teams like Alabama, Nebraska, Texas A&M, Florida, those guys actually made myself and Sherrod and I better because we could compete with anybody in the country because Coach Bauer scheduled teams that's non-conference that make us better in the conference. So those memories could they last a lifetime because I can say that we balled out against those type of teams. And unfortunately, we came on the bad end of the stick, but we was lined up against the best of the best, and we didn't shy down for anybody that we played.
Oh yeah, great! There's so many moments. I mean, that's a great one, man. The road schedule we played, it was fun. We put on shows a lot. So, but I mean, Todd, your time there at Southern Miss, 3 conference championships, 2 Liberty Bowl championships, and in your last game at Southern Miss, man, you're finishing the Liberty Bowl again in '99 and finished number 13 in the nation. I mean, what was that like closing the chapter out and everything you did in a Hall of Fame career at Southern Miss?
Well, I think it was all Coach Bauer. Coach Bauer gave us confidence to know that we want to go out with a bang. Unfortunately, remember Sherrod got hurt. I think against Memphis, and he wasn't able to be 100%. But he came out there and he showed out as well. And for the both of us to go out there and do the things that we did in the bowl game and up until all the way up to our senior year, man, it was a joy. It was delightful. It was fun. We ended up being the number 3 duo in the country behind Peter Warwick and I think Plaxico Burris and Gary Scott. And we was right behind them. We was competitive. We had fun, and it was a goal to a point where we want to finish at the Liberty Bowl and win. So that was the biggest thing for Southern Miss. Make sure we go to make sure we go to the Liberty Bowl and win it. So that was one of the delightful, joyous experience that we had coming up in Southern Miss.
Oh yeah, and Todd, real quick before we move on to the pros, I want to ask you, man. Coach Bauer is legendary college football coach in my eyes. I mean, what was it like being coached by Coach Bauer in that program?
Well, a lot of people don't know. Actually, Coach Bauer was our position coach. You know what I'm saying? So
That's right. Yeah, he did this and that. I think of him
yeah, he
as
was
the
a
head man
position
arguing
coach
that the
and head
refs
coach.
giving the refs hell. That's what I was expecting.
Right. Well, he actually inspired us, because it was the smaller detail things that he worked on us with. Uh, just being coached under him as far as our head coach and our position coach, man, it was a joy because not too many head coach can be the receiver coach, and it was delightful, and again coached by a legend and a coach of the decade and a Hall of Fame coach, and actually found out when I got to the pros, he was on the playoff committee when that came up. So, that says a lot about his character and the knowledge of the game.
Yeah, it's a great way to put it, man. And I want to read your stats for your career. Like I said, you're still top 5 and felt like 100 of them, but the main one's 149 catches, 22 touchdowns, almost 2,500 yards, which did get you in the Hall of Fame at Southern Miss. What did it mean to you when you got that call?
It meant a lot, man. It was, I thought it was crazy because it was an email. You know how you get the spam emails, but I actually looked over it until I actually got a call and actually said I was basically became a Hall of Famer. I think it was a couple more guys that was in the same class as me, and it was delightful, man. I think Pat was in that class, and no, it was just an experience that you can never take back because it goes to show you what type of work you put in, the hours that you put in, the 2 days on the side of the road over there by in the grass over there on the other side of the field, not actually the football field. Those are things that brings you back when you get inducted to the Hall of Fame at Southern Miss, and I'm very delighted and honored to be a part of that fraternity.
Oh man, great way to put that, and well deserved. That's for dang sure. I thought they took too long putting you in. They should put it right away. But man, so that Hall of Fame career right there, and the team you were on your senior year. I mean, I don't know where to begin with the talent and end with the talent. You guys were talented. Like I said, number 13 in the nation by the time you're done. But guess who was the first guy drafted off that team? Todd Pinkston, early early in the second round. Man, how'd that feel going to Philly that early and fulfilling your NFL dream?
Well, man, I talked to my dad about this before. I wasn't looking to get drafted. My biggest goal was to make them proud, to get a college degree, and that's one thing my mom and my parents instilled on me. But once I realized that I was being competitive and actually my name started coming up every week on college football, and I was like, hey, I may have a shot to do something special. Get an opportunity to get drafted, and once Coach Reed and Coach Cully was my position coach, gave me a call and said we may bring you up, we may draft you, put in this slot right here, and once they called me 35th pick, man, it was a joy. My mom, it was just me and my mom at the house just watching the draft, and man, it was delightful. My mom eyes just like, just was a spark in her eyes. You can tell. And then for me, I was like, man, I just got drafted to Philadelphia. A small kid from Mississippi, Southern Miss small school, and going all the way up to Philadelphia where it's gonna be cold. And but it was a blessing, man. It was a blessing. And like I said, I'm honored for Coach Reed taking me to where he took me.
Oh yeah, heck yeah, man. And getting to the NFL, I mean, you had a heck of a run in Philly for 5 years, running 5 years. What was it like that transition from college to the pros? Was it the speed of the game to adjust to, the strength, the power of the game? What were some things you noticed? Okay, this jumps out at me. I got to get better at.
Well, it was one thing for me. I was already fast, but it was the speed of the game, Marshawn. It was to a point where, man, if you're running some different routes or whatever, it's always over with if you're not out of your route. So I adjusted to that. I adjusted to the press coverage against Troy Vincent, Al Harris, Bobby Taylor, those guys. Um, actually, Brian Dawkins, those guys on the other end, though. But I had to adjust to that speed of the game. But I think for the most part, going against the guys that I went against at Southern Miss with the Rod Thomas and the D Hurd, those guys, they actually, and Pat Surtain, those guys actually made it better for me because I was used to going against press coverage. I just had to fine tune the things that they wanted me to do at for Philadelphia.
Oh, a great way to put it right there, man. Just transition to the NFL, and you made an impact pretty fast, man. Second year, you're a full time starter, and in 2004, let me read a stat that I found pretty awesome. You were second in the NFL with yards per catch at 18.8. I mean, Todd Pinkston is one of the best receivers in the NFL now, man. How'd that feel, man? Like, all right, I'm doing this.
Well, at the time, Marsha, I didn't really know it till after the season when they actually going into the Super Bowl year with To and Freddie Mitchell, those guys. But it's if you can remember the coach that had came and spoke to us every training camp, PW. He
Coach
always,
PW.
yeah, PW always told us the 5 P's, and I stuck with me to this day. Proper preparation prevent poor performance. So whenever I got to that from college to the NFL, if I perform well and prepare myself, then performance will speak for itself. So I think the late PW whatever, but it carried me, and all the guys talk about it right to this day.
Oh man, I wasn't expecting some PW Underwood references that we got. That was right at training camp, right? It was kind of wrapping up. Yeah,
Training camp, yeah, yeah,
yeah, we
tour
got
day,
bruises all over our body, and PW say, yeah,
yeah,
PW's there. You better get your act together. So that's
right.
awesome, man. I love it. Man, what a successful team franchise you had at that time. 4 straight NFC championships and a Super Bowl game against the New England Patriots in Super Bowl 34, 34, 38, 34, 34. And how was that? I mean, so successful and playing against New England in a Super Bowl.
Well, I know at the NFL level, man, it's hard to win, man, and then going to four consistent NFC Championship games, man, it shows what type of coach that Coach Reed has, and the mentality he has. Like the will to win is to basically going to put him in the Hall of Fame in the near future. But no, it was hard, man. Then opportunity coming from Mississippi represent Southern Miss, Forest High School, small community, get a chance to go play in the Super Bowl, man. It was a joy. Whenever you see the cameras come on and the lights flash, man, that was real. You know, you usually watch it on TV and see it all there, not just a screenshot. No, actually, that was real, and it was a joy to get an opportunity to play in that.
Oh, I can only imagine. And you impacted that game. You had a 40-yard grab, 4 catches, 82 yards. I mean, you impacted that game, the Super Bowl, man. I watch it. I'm like, I know him. I know Todd. That's my guy, man. So, but what are some other moments maybe in Philadelphia games? Shoot, living in Philadelphia, coming from Forest, Mississippi, man, being in a big city. What was it like there? Some other moments.
Well, you had your the great fan base that we had at Southern Miss with the student section and people in the community came out to support. Man, it wasn't nothing like Philadelphia, man. They was a diehard Eagle fans, man, and the highs and the lows, and they want you to win right away. And I took my share of boos, but I took a lot more share of congratulation and appreciation with the times I was there. Man, it was different. Put it like that, it was different coming from Mississippi, going to a bigger city, not knowing how to drive in the snow for one, how to go from point A to point B, and two, I was on my own by myself. So those are the times of calling my mom back home, how to cook this, how to prepare this meal, because I wasn't used to it because she always prepared my meal coming out of high school. But those are great experience for me, and which it helped me out in the long run.
Man, I love it, man. Great Philadelphia moment, especially the cold, man. I was like, how's Todd handling that? I'm a Southern guy, man. I was like, how's Todd handling that cold? So, but good stuff right there. And you impacted Philadelphia tremendously. Getting your stats, you wrapped up your career there with 3,000 receiving yards, 14 touchdowns, man. And then in 06, 07, you go to Washington, Minnesota, wrap up an 8-year NFL career. But looking back, I mean, an 8-year NFL career. I mean, what was that like, man? That's a long time to last in the NFL, Todd.
Well, the time, unfortunately, once you play in the time that you play, and as long as you play, man, it's always a joy. You get that one year, then you get hungry, you want to play again, keep playing again. But unfortunately, man, I had a injury that ended my career, ruptured my Achilles tendon, and tried to get an opportunity to go to Minnesota and Washington. I still wasn't 100%. And at that time, man, I was like, man, you know what? I had a great career. Maybe I should go ahead and put up the cleats and start doing stuff I love, in which I started coaching, to start mentoring young kids in high school, college, and the people in my community. It was a joy and a blessing to play in the NFL. But what sparked my joy was try to give back to my community, and which hopefully I succeeded at. So
Oh,
that was my biggest joy.
winning the Super Bowl. I think you did all right just there. But man, I do want to talk about the little coaching room right there because you had a high football IQ. I remember that back then, and I was out of there. You were a sophomore, you still had years to go, and you're known as that when I see quotes about your high football IQ. But it was in your bloodline your whole life. Your dad, Roy, longtime Mississippi football coach. Man, was it just a calling? You just felt it?
Well, I think it was more of a calling, but actually being around my dad growing up, he was coaching high school, coaching junior high football, track, basketball. Those are the days that Joey, my brother, and I spent a lot of time with dad, you know what I'm saying, with a ball in our hand. Any sport that he coached at, we was always around because I think it just moved me learning how he dealt with different type of um, students, athletes, or on that level that kind of helped me evolve into, man, what I need to do as far as different sports, or what do I look for. So being around my dad growing up, and him being a coach, it kind of helped me out in the long run.
Well, yeah, and that coach who took you back to a local level. A lot of people are fired up about this. For 8 years, right after football, you became coach at Petal High School, the Petal Panthers, man. And I remember getting word of that. I'm in Houston. I'm like, dang, Todd's a Petal coach, man. How cool was that? Leading these young men with your alma mater right down the road, basically.
Well, one of my biggest goals was to get an opportunity to coach at my alma mater at Southern Miss. But at the time when I retired, I took a year off, and I wanted to get back into coaching. Actually, Coach Steve Buckley was over at Pettit at the time, and he actually was our running back coach when I was a couple of years when I was at Southern Miss. Came over, he just talked to me and see if I liked it, and then once I got over there and get my foot in the door and started liking the kids and how I was I was impacting the kids that was there. And I was like, hey, this is a good idea. And I appreciate Coach Buckley bringing me over to inspire me to be a coach and lead under him, and then went from there.
Oh man, I was thinking of those pedal football players like Todd Pinkston. You're your coach. You know how blessed you are, people. Man, it was a good thing. And
I need to try it first.
but that advanced you to the college ranks for 3 years at Austin P as a wide receiver coach, and you went for 4 years to Stockbridge High School, which takes us to where we're at now. Todd, Super Bowl champ with the Kansas City Chiefs, and a cool dynamic here. You being the running back coach there, Andy Reid, the head coach. He was your head coach of Philly. How's it been, man, coaching with him and playing for him? I mean, how's that dynamic? The respect factor, all the quotes I've seen, man, he loves you. I love it.
Well, it's a lot of people don't realize this, man. And is one of those coaches that's going to inspire you. He's detail oriented, but he'll give you opportunity to be successful. And it's one thing that he did once he drafted me. And I can tell you this quote is, I mean, it's still stock, but first one to draft me, first one to release me, first one to give me my internship, and first one to hire me as a full-time head coach. That says a lot to his character as far as trusting me and believing in and what I could bring to the table, and getting the opportunity to coach running backs. Once he called me about this time last year, I couldn't turn it down. I was delighted because I interned with him the summer before, and hopefully I made an impact in it to get me to a point where I'm at now. And he also stated to me, you coach running backs, you can coach longer in this league, and give me that opportunity, and I took it and ran with it.
Yeah, you did. And the way you just transitioned that, like put it all in blocks, I'm like, dang, you talk about him. He made an impact on your career. Dang, that's
Yeah,
awesome the way you put that.
yeah.
So, but like I said, all the quotes, man, he loves some Todd Pinkston. I do want to ask you a neat question I have, I think, is so you've coached high school athletes, you've coached college athletes, now you coach professional athletes. What's a transition dealing with those different personalities and stuff? I mean, is there something that sticks out, or is it just coaching
Well,
football, huh?
Well, it's coaching football, but on a high school level, you try to get kids to college. And in college, you trying to get kids to the NFL. But once you get to the NFL, well, you made it that far. Now it's your job. This is your job. This is what you got to feed your family with. Because at the time, there was no NIL when we came out much, and so
Couldn't even have
we
a job, Todd. You
yeah
remember that? Man, don't get me
we
started.
couldn't
I
have
was
a
broke.
job. You're right.
I was broke all.
Yeah, can have a job, but it's their job, and them guys, they take full responsibility of what they have to get done on a professional level, and it's a business. Once you get your foot in the door, as far as getting that job and that job opportunity to perform on the field, everything else speak for itself. But My job was to make sure my running back room, um, was doing their job to perform on the field on a daily basis, and hope everything spoke for itself.
Oh yeah, I mean, what great work you've done, and you played in the Super Bowl and Super Bowl 58 just now, man. Southern Miss social media blew up. Todd Pinkston is the Super Bowl champion. Just a little bit more, man. The experience of Super Bowl 58 and what it really meant to win one.
Marshall, it kind of like, I won't say caught me by surprise. It hit me in moments, in spurts. Like when we Baltimore in the AFC Championship game, it didn't really hit me till like we got in the locker room. Be like, man, you know what? We're going to the Super Bowl, And then we had that first week of practice because we had 2 weeks out. First week of practice, so I think it was that Friday before we left to go to the Super Bowl. I was like, man, you know what? Man, we're in a freaking Super Bowl. And at the end of the day, it's like, man, how many people get that opportunity to go to the Super Bowl? And once we got there, we did the Super Bowl prep practices and stuff like that. And it kind of like dawned on me. It's like, man, we about to play to be the number one team in the National Football League in the Super Bowl. And I was like, man, you know what? Wow, I gotta take this and be my best at what I do. And hopefully we bring home the trophy. And having the guys that we had, offense, defense, special teams, man, it was a joy. And plus when you have Pat Mahomes as your leader and that great defense that we have, man, it was a joy, and it was a joyful experience for me to actually get a chance to win the Super Bowl.
Oh, that's awesome. Congratulations again, even though I gave you a ton of love on social media, man. But Todd, it's just sometimes these stories, when I do these stories, these full episodes, man, I just love them so much, especially with one of my former teammates and my friends, man. Fill in the blanks from Forest High School, all state, to college, man, all everything with college. And then the NFL, playing the Super Bowl, one of the best wide receivers in Philly history, one of the best in the NFL. Second, I mean, just so many things. Coaching the Super Bowl, man. It's just fun to fill in the blanks. So, congrats again, Todd. Awesome, man. So I was fired up for it. But hey, I want to ask you something because besides Todd Pinkston being my son's favorite player of all time, besides that, Patrick Mahomes is a quarterback, man, and that's his second favorite. So what I mean, they're talking about him, GOAT stuff. 3 Super Bowls already, 28 years old, man. What's it like working with Patrick Mahomes?
It's a blessing, man. He has the talent that you would want out of a quarterback. But most importantly, man, he's very smart. He's a winner, very competitive. Anything you do, I don't care if you're playing soccer, ping pong, or doing anything that's related to being competitive. And that shows the type of person he is. And he's a team player. He's not all about himself. There's no I in Pat, and it's a blessing how he can lead guys to be competitive on a level to a point where there is no eternity. He not only inspired his teammates, he inspired the coaches, and Coach Reed, and the things that he do on and off the field makes you want to be that type of person growing up. And he's inspiring a lot of people, not only players, but a lot of people in the community for the young Pat that he is right now.
Oh, that's awesome. Appreciate the recap on Mahomes right there. And Todd, just bring it down a little bit. Unfortunately, just talk about it real quick. Tragedy did strike at the Kansas City Chiefs parade recently with the shooting. Man, it floored me when I heard about that. Especially, I know the part of this, man. How's the Kansas City community handling all this right now?
Well, they've been great. They've been great. They've been reaching out to the families. I think a few players donated some stuff to it, and uh, just thinking back, man. You can take a joyful experience, and then certain people can be some crazy people and mess up the joy that's going on throughout the course of the day. But it was a great experience as far as being in the parade. You can see the fans, man. I think it was bar none one of the tops in the NFL, and seeing that experience, and then for things to happen the way it happened at the end, it shows that like people can be not for the people in the community, just be all about themselves and want the attention to bring on themselves instead of just enjoying the moment of the things that happen for winning the Super Bowl and actually getting the opportunity to have a parade. You know, you have kids out there that's out of school, their parents is missing jobs, and then for things like that to happen, it's kind of sad experience. But the community has came together. They're looking out for the family that was struck a little bit, but we'll bounce back and hopefully we get an opportunity to get that experience again.
Yeah, I mean, you're strong and stay strong. I know Kansas City Chiefs are known to be strong fan base. So, and prayers from the Kennys to everybody impacted, please. And but yeah, so Todd, I mean, kind of going back a little bit. There's one thing just about you, just a good man. You are a good dude. You were a great teammate, great leader, all that, man. And back in Forest, you do a lot for the city and something called the Todd Pinkston Enhancement Program, correct?
Yes.
Worded correctly. Talk about that, man. And I saw a couple interviews on it, and that means a lot to that city.
Yeah, I think it was like my second year in the league, and I wanted to try to give back to my community. And I think about Miss Constance Slaughter Harvey. She brought to my attention how I can go about doing things and try to start this type of enhancement program for the kids that's in the high school, junior high, and below to have a place to go where they can get tutored. At the time, it's a lot of parents that were still working, but kids are at home waiting for them parents to get off work. And I wanted to start something up where they can get ready to go to the enhancement program to get tutoring, so the parents won't have much to worry about once they get to the house off work. And that's one of the things I wanted to start, and it kind of like it took off the second and third year in the league.
Yeah, I mean, you're royalty back and forth. I mean, so that's awesome. You give back in the way you do. So, and Todd, we talk football, we talk coaching, Super Bowls, all of Van Hall, all sorts of stuff. But man, let me give you a minute to talk about your family. The most important thing, man. Any family updates for the Southern Miss fans?
I just, I still have my siblings, and I still have my kids right now, and my wife, and everybody's just so supportive. Marshawn, man, it's a blessing, man, to get a text message from your kids and from your peers and from your siblings, man. It's a joy to have that, and just being a part of something special. One of the biggest things is my mama actually, how parents always have trouble texting. My mama actually texted me and told me congratulations for winning Super Bowl. And that was one of the biggest things because, yeah, she can text, but she don't text, if that makes sense. But and then getting an opportunity to talk to my dad, with health issues, but just getting a chance to do something special for them guys. It really, really it means a lot to me, and it's doing something that not too many people in the forest community has done. It says a lot about what type of support they have for me.
Oh, that's awesome. Great family updates right there. And I build a statue of Todd Pinkston in Force. I'm on that train right now. Build a statue of. So, hey, man, you are just one of the most beloved figures in the Southern Miss world. So, from the great Todd Pinkston, what's a message you have for the Southern Miss fans?
One of the biggest things I would say to the Southern Miss fan, man, stay strong, and always believe in black and gold. And whatever season is going up and down, always know there is light at the end of the tunnel. So, only thing you got to do is just keep his course, because at the end of the day, it's not gonna be that way for long with the tradition that we had that you have at Southern Miss. And at the end of the day, man, we still gonna be Southern Miss to the top, regardless of what people say and what people think. Anytime, anywhere, any place.
Oh, man, Todd lived through that. Todd did anyone, anywhere, anytime. He knows what we can be like, and they're in the Sun Belt team that can match our tradition, Todd. Not even close. So, but man, my friend and former teammate, I cannot thank you enough for being on my show today.
Man, thanks for having me, Marshawn. I know we were back and forth throughout the course of my season, but you see how busy it was and what it got to, man. It's an honor, man. It's an honor to be on your show and the things that you're doing on social media, and still supporting Southern Miss the way you are, man. It says a lot about you and your wife. as and the former players that you done had on there, man. I watch it, man, and it's always a smile on my face because I don't think I can think about the time and memories and being in the stretch line. We talk about Itsy
Uh,
Bitsy with Jerry Harris, and he always spark everything. So I want to thank you for making me special and being on your show, man.
Oh, well, thank you so much right there. And I promise, Todd, the honor's all mine, man. I couldn't wait however long it took to get you on this show, and there you are. So, but from the great Todd Pinkston, a Super Bowl champ, a Southern Miss Hall of Famer, one of the greatest wide receivers. I'm saying college football history. I'm going there. I'm going there. So I think a great way to close the show would be from Todd Pinkston and myself to give everybody a big Southern Miss
To the top.
to the top.